Welcome, wonderful friends, to the Sunday Rune and card readings. Thank you so much for joining me. And before I dive into the additional information that comes this week from these three beautiful crystal hearts, I just want to say a huge thank you to all of you for being a part of this amazing community, and a huge thank you to those of you who follow I post daily, or normally I post daily on Facebook, and I lost someone very dear to me and so took time out this week and just put a post up to say my apologies, no daily sort of Astro and Moon updates. The number of you who just messaged back and posted in response, commented on my post, just thank you. It really touched me, moved me. We are such an amazing community here. I think we are living proof, I think, as a community here online, of how much connection, how much strength, how much love, how much kindness we can genuinely share with one another and connect into through one another, literally, even if we have never physically met in person. So thank you, all of you. Thank you for bearing with me for not responding to your comments from the readings last week. I really just needed to take some time out. And thank you for your love and support, and for those of you who commented following my Facebook post. So wonderful friends, I am still doing this Sunday reading, although I'm not really back full on at work as yet, but I have been absolutely drawn to continue with the Sunday readings irrespective, and in fact I will, I hope, be posting daily again on Facebook and just keeping you updated. I'll be emailing out as well regarding the Art of Manifestation Astro-Moon diary and journal, and I will be announcing the winners of our monthly prize draw, of my monthly prize draw. For anyone new to the channel, I give away each month a pack of the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards, these cards. I'm also now giving away a 2022 diary and journal and a free private reading every month. So I'll put all the links to all the sorts of things that you might want to connect to, the big 3 monthly readings, the prize draw, the YouTube subscribe, it's a subscriber offer, the YouTube subscriber email address, all the stuff, and the links will be there, including the timings for these readings if you just want to fast forward. If you already know which of the readings you are going to be tuning in with, you may already have actually worked that one out just from the thumbnail at the beginning. So wonderful friends, for those of you that wish to remain with me while we do the extra guidance, we'll tune into the energy of these three crystal hearts. Then I'm going to draw the cards and the runes. So our first heart, very beautiful, is Agate. Now Agate is a stone that it kind of balances us. It rebalances, it realigns mind, body, spirit and emotions. It kind of, for me, brings a real sense of, gosh, inner strength. I literally can feel it in my solar plexus as I hold this in my hand. I think it's really amazing if we need to preserve our energy, get a clear head, make decisions. There's something about the clarity, I think, that always comes with the kind of strength of Agate. So if you're ever in a space of indecision, or you're simply needing to realign and rebalance, Agate is a magnificent stone to carry. And as a heart, if you have any indecisions around love, relationships, you're needing to realign and rebalance yourself in connection to personal relationships, as well as your relationship with yourself, Agate is an amazing stone to carry. So that's the influence of reading number 1. Reading number 2, we have turquoise howlite. Now this is a stone that is said to reduce anxiety. It's also said to bring a sort of particularly an emotional sense of calmness. It's known as an attunement stone, so it helps to connect us with higher levels of consciousness. If you've got really like a raging inner critic, or you're struggling with a negative thinking pattern, or you're just struggling to shift some form of negativity, especially if it's anxiety related within you, turquoise howlite particularly, is an amazing stone to carry. And lastly, reading number 3, we have a piece of cat's eye quartz, or a cat's eye quartz heart. Now this is associated with love, with healing, with the heart. It's known as a strength-giving stone, and it's said to bring happiness, but in happiness in a way that is very much connected to hope, renewed optimism, Again, really, it's actually said to protect us from evil spirits, and therefore I think from the negativity of others as well. It's also said to guard us from infidelity in relationships and strengthen family bonds. So there's a real strength aligning with the heart here in reading number 3. So wonderful friends, let's draw from the cards. First of all, we'll draw from, I think, one of the tarot, my oldest tarot. This is I think at the Mythic Tarot. I'm also going to draw from the Nordic Tarot. Oh, wow. Okay. 1, 2. 1, 2. And 1. They splayed out literally in 3 different directions. That felt completely appropriate. We'll draw from the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards as well. And also, I think, from an astrology pack too. Oh, and lastly but not leastly, our wonderful runes. Okay, so wonderful friends, this is where you need to be sitting with your intuition and just trust, listen to your own inner guide. You might want to pause the video before moving forwards to whichever reading is really speaking to you, or readings. Sometimes it's more than one that really, really reaches out to you. So wonderful friends, again, thank you so much for your love, support, guidance. You know, so many of you offering your own guidance through your Facebook comments, you know, really supporting me in nurturing and taking time out as needed. Guys, you really are wonderful. I always feel like if I ever have a wobble in my own life for whatever reason, I only have to log in, read some of your comments, and you know, it is just so uplifting. So thank you for being a part of this amazing community. Anybody new to these readings, if you wish to join this amazing online community of wonderful weekly tarot readings, and indeed the big 3 monthlies as well, I think I'll try and stick something on about those, or a connection at the very end. Just, you know, you guys are amazing. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Tons and tons of love to you all, and I will see you in the readings. Namaste. Welcome to reading number 1 with a beautiful agate heart, all about rebalancing, realigning. Let's have a look at our runes. So we have the rune of fertility, the rune of journey. Gosh, these are powerful. And the rune of the self. Okay, I'm going to place those right in the middle here. Now, the rune of fertility requires completion of beginnings. It is a rune of fertility. It's a fruit-bearing rune. It's a rune of promise. Now, there's some journeying to be done. For some of you, there may literally be a journey. I am being shown a road. There's a pathway to journey through here in this reading. Now, I don't know whether it's a pathway to rebalancing, to refinding happiness, to realignment within some aspect of your life. That's what I'm hearing. The rune of journey. Now you're either going to go on a journey, you are literally going somewhere, and that in itself is going to be about almost reorganizing your life in some way, shape or form. For some of you, that is literally a physical journey. For others, the journeying is within. Everything in this reading is about finding your own balance, your own happiness. There's some aspect of balance that's being called for here. Something has to be completed, laid to rest, put down, in order for you to move forwards. Now, the rune of the self. The rune of the self is literally the mirror of the rune of joy. It's like two halves of joy. If you took the rune of joy, split it down the middle, opened it up, that is the rune of self. It is a rune that is, I'm being shown this need to bring yourselves back into balance in some way. There's some aspect of your life. I feel as though there is going to be a burst of fertility. But there's something that has to be righted along, literally along the way. Let's see what our cards are showing. So we have 4 of Pentacles, 3 of Cups. Oh, wow, look at this Ace of Pentacles and the 9 of Wands. I said everything was about balance, restore balance. Okay, fine. That's fairly clear. Where are we? We have the Hermit, we have the Queen of Swords. Now, how are we going to lay these out so everything is going to be in view here for us? I want to make sure that every card we have, let's place these up a little bit more. Put these here so you guys can see them all. And then we have Restore Balance and Chiron Healing. Okay, lovely. Now, this is really interesting because this, whatever is taking place in your world, wisdom, power, there's something really, really deeply personal. For some of you, this is something that whatever is coming to a completion, it's making space for the new. And the new is coming, and it's accompanied by a period of fertility that comes through healing. Don't hold on to something. Whatever this is about for you guys, don't hold on to something. I'm going to bring this agate heart down here, and I'm going to bring the runes down here. That feels like, you know, the right layout. It always feels really important for me when I'm doing a reading. Again, isn't it interesting? It's about balance. Always feels really important for the cards to find their place. I mean, sometimes we move them if we're energy clearing or shifting energy. There's no shifting to be done here. It is simply that it's not a shifting or a clearing of energy. It's a rebalancing, which is different. What is curious is there is some kind of there's a final, I don't even want to say a final testing. Something is coming to its final chapter is coming to an end in some way, shape or form. A healing has arrived here. There is such an energy of new beginnings around you. Now, for some of you, it's literally like you're falling in love with life again. You're able to rebalance. You're able to reconnect in a way that is really very magical. There's something that needs to be let go of that is coming to a completion. It is right and natural that it does so. You're letting go of something. Something is shifting and moving from your life. And it is quite right. Now, for some of you, it could be an attitude. For others, it could be a situation or even a person. But this person has, or this situation or the attitude, wherever the attitude came from, it is completely right for you to let go of it now. The timing is impeccable because you are moving into a space of newness, of freshness, of a new chapter. Now, I'm not saying it's without its challenges, because part of the challenge here it's the letting go of the familiar. It's the letting go of something that you used to be accustomed to. Literally, for some of you, you are moving away from something, physically moving away. For others, it's an internal pattern. But you know what you're doing now. The card of Restore Balance says This card calls you to notice what kinds of situations, people and circumstances throw you off balance, and more importantly, what enables you to regain balance and recenter yourself. Noticing heightens your awareness and creates an opportunity for you to become proactive in maintaining your ongoing balance and inner harmony. So for some of you, it's like an internal thinking pattern, or a kind of a person that goes way, way back in history that upsets you or knocks you off balance. But this is really about you learning to realign, and realign quite quickly in any given situation. And there is, for some of you, something that is firmly being put down. It's healed, it's coming to a rest, it's time to let it go, it's time to move on. You see something with greater clarity, and it is time for you to step into your own power. That is really, really clear, actually. Step up into your own power. Be who you are, be who you can be. This is actually, I feel like you're going to be stepping into, I know we talk about stepping into our fullest potential. And I know that the potential that we step into changes at different ages and stages, different chapters in our lives. But you are about to step into some aspect of your fullest potential. It's like something that has previously held you back is now being let go of. And actually the goal, the end goal, the unity within it's kind of within your sight. You know, it's like you've got the wisdom, you know where you're going, what you're aiming for. I almost want to say as well, guys, it's like you actually know what, gosh, I'm sort of seeing something that feels very, I want to say enlightened, very sparkly. It's like I'm being shown this sort of package of light. It's as if you know how to manifest from the inside out. You've grasped something, you've got something, you've integrated some piece of wisdom, knowledge, awareness into the very essence of your being, so that you live life differently. And it's now time just to sort of almost complete that process, and the new beginning is there. Now, if you guys, any of you who are about to embark on some aspect of a new chapter of your life, I would say categorically all of you are, because this is clearing the way and opening the way. This is really about you stepping into your own power. I'm not going to say any more. Rebalance, realign, take note of what is going on around you. Healing is here, it's coming, you are processing it. Whatever you're processing, you are moving forwards into a whole new phase of life, which is amazing. It does feel like there's an aspect of truly understanding the process of manifestation from a really deeply spiritual perspective. Wonderful friends, I'm going to say nothing more, just send you tons and tons of love. Namaste. Welcome to reading number 2 with our beautiful little turquoise howlite heart, which is really about bringing down anxiety and bringing calmness and helping to connect us to higher levels of consciousness. Our first rune is the rune of possessions. This is of nourishment, of rewards as well, ambition satisfied. We have the rune of wholeness. We have the rune of harvest. A little heart jumping around. This is really interesting. Just the runes alone. Something is coming to you. There's a path you must follow. There's a really distinct direction that you need to go on. It's really right and proper for you. I want to say ambition satisfied. Something really magical is about to land. You've worked for it. This isn't new. You've worked for this. It's about to take off. It's going to do amazingly. It's coming to fruition, to completion. I'm being shown this. It's really interesting. The rune of harvest advises patience, and it speaks of a cycle, often of a year. What I'm being shown though is this is the completion of that. It's the harvest time, as opposed to sometimes this indicates the beginning of something. I mean, obviously with every completion there's also a beginning. That's the nature of this. But actually I think the harvest is about to be delivered. There's something that's literally coming together, something that's complete, whole. It's found its place, or you've found your place. Ambition satisfied. Don't forget to share, and if necessary, conserve your resources as well. Conserve your rewards. Okay, let's move our little heart here, and I'm going to move our runes down here, and we'll lay out our cards. This is really interesting. So we have the card of expectation. Expectation is a form of memory. Our past experiences colour our expectations of future circumstances and outcomes. You are asked to release any form of negative expectations based on past experiences and centre yourself in the infinite possibility of now. Right, I can see exactly what this card is speaking to us about in light of these runes. I'm going to place the heart here. There's something about you bringing something into fruition here, and yet there's some aspect of you that's still, it's almost as though you're slightly blocking your ability to manifest and to bring something in. Now you're going to need to keep really, really crystal clear intentions here. Really know what you want, hold on to what you want. Knowledge, the Wheel of Fortune, Fate, Grand Cross, Provoker. Very, very interesting cards. Very interesting cards, given this possessions, nourishment, wholeness and harvest. Okay, so I'm just going to voice what's flowing through. This is really interesting. I feel like something is about to be handed to you. Something is coming to you. Now, there's acknowledgement, there's validation, there's celebration, there are resources coming to you, whether it's renewed energy, whether it's literally money, or, you know, some aspect of something that you have been wanting is about to come into play. There's an aspect of fate here. It does feel like there's something about your purpose, your calling, your destiny. And yet there is still some part of you that doesn't quite believe you can have it or you can hold on to it. Now you're going to have to balance something here. This is really interesting, because I feel, curiously enough, as if this is following on from reading number 1. Now I don't usually speak. I mean, I might make a reference point to say I was moving energy in one of the other readings. I don't generally connect in this way, but I'm going to, because that's what I'm being shown. I will just say that reading number 1 was about rebalancing, which I think we knew because of the agate, the little agate heart that was supporting that reading. I feel like this is following on from reading number 1. It's like something was realigned, rebalanced. In this instance, there's something about you following through with something. Something is about to be delivered. It's emerging. It's coming to you. There's some kind of destiny or calling. Something is being activated. The Grand Cross, the Provoker. It's as if it is as if you're being challenged to really take an ownership. I want to say to take an ownership of your entitlement, to be you, to have and to hold. It literally feels like, you know, pick up your destiny, take an ownership of it. Have that thing that you really, really wanted. Allow yourself to believe in it in some way. I feel like something is about to be offered to you. And it's almost as though a part of you is challenged by that. There might be more than one offer as well. That might also be part of what's taking place here. You're more than one choice, more than one option open to you. And the danger is you go down that expectation where previously you didn't feel you could step into your own power. And so it's like, you know, which of the choices do you make? You know, do you really grasp the kind of the big rewards? Do you grasp what you're entitled to? Do you allow yourself to believe, to have that? There's something very pivotal taking place here, guys. Really, really pivotal in terms of your ownership of something. And there's like a situation around you that almost pushes you into a space of personal entitlement. Now, this is a generic reading. So what I'm going to say is with this, I think it is, because it's a generic reading, it will be unique to you each in your own circumstances. So I'm almost going to say, look, whatever it is that you desire, whatever it is you've been working at manifesting, so whether this is relationship, whether it's destiny, career pathway, your calling, it could actually for some of you be both, but whatever it is, I think something is about to be delivered to you. That's what I'm seeing here. It's like something is you're about to be rewarded. And I almost want to say to you, can you allow yourself to dare to dream big? Can you allow yourself to believe in that possibility? You know, when we literally teeter on the edge of something, and it's almost as though in terms of the laws of attraction, we're almost there, and then we can't quite grasp it. It really is. It's like you're offered something here. Can you pick it up and run with it? And what it provokes in you is this sort of sense of inner belief of you really, really, I also want to say, holding firm. This is where the patience of the harvest rune comes in. It's holding firm for what you really, really want. I want to say, don't compromise as well. Really interesting. I want to say, do not compromise. There's something you've really been working on manifesting. There will be choices around for you. I think stuff is coming in more than one direction. The question is, can you pick up this potential and really take an ownership of it? Because there's an invitation here. Be clear. Balance your options. Be really thoughtful about what it is you want to bring in. What are your ultimate dreams and goals here? Some situation is around you that is literally the nature. It's almost as if there's something karmic that is underpinning this situation, and I think the karmic aspect of it is to do with your own entitlement and ownership, where you really embrace it. There's anxiety around, which is really interesting. There's anxiety, negative thinking patterns from the past. It's almost like, I'm just going to go with what's coming through. It's really interesting. There's quite a specific thinking pattern here. It's almost as if you can't really have something, because if you have it, you feel like somebody else will either come and take it away or they'll sabotage it. It's like you're expecting to be criticised for having. You're expecting to be criticised if you're successful. It's a really very clear message, and that needs to be put down. You know, the whole situation here is about you stepping into, you're being, in a sense, provoked. You're being put in a situation where you can start to really have what you want, and part of that strength is your own ownership. And I'm going to say this is part of your spiritual pathway. Gosh, I'm being asked to give such firm messages in this reading, so clear. It's like it's almost like I'm really being called. I can feel this. It's not a taskmaster, because that's the wrong word, because in a way I think you are your own taskmaster, but it's like I'm being asked to really sort of firmly stop this anxiety and say, look, come on, expectations are a form of memory. What do you actually want? Don't look through the lens of the past. Take an ownership of the harvest you wish to bring in. Something is emerging, something is coming to you, grasp it. The bit that's being provoked is almost like this bit of you that thinks, I can't really have. It'll be taken away, it'll be sabotaged. Do you know, I'm just going to say, so what? Actually, if somebody doesn't like your ownership of something, the roots of that are in envy. Some of you grew up with somebody quite narcissistic, actually, who I think was quite manipulative. I'm being shown that. For some of you, that person is still in your life, actually, or you've got somebody else in your world who's also quite manipulative and you're not quite sure how you feel about them. Just navigate that, you know. I always think, you know, our family members, friends, you know, people that are in our world, you know, we don't have to close the door. We just need to learn to navigate thoughtfully. And we should never back down in the face of someone who manoeuvres and manipulates. Actually, you are a guiding light if you embrace your success, because it sort of demonstrates that that's possible. So really, really embrace that, please. Yeah, embrace your success. It's really interesting. I do feel there's something, it's the underlying stuff here that feels very karmic, and it is to do with entitlement and ownership. Go for it. Whatever you are wanting to, the harvest is about to be delivered, or some aspect of it. I'm not saying that there won't be more work to be done, but it's like a door is opening for you. And it's a door that you've wanted to open for a long time. So whatever that is in the uniqueness of your world, let's put this behind you. Okay, put those expectations behind you. Now, I do energy shifting in readings, so I am actually going to do some energy shifting in this reading. So what I'm going to do is sit with the cards and the runes as they are. Listen to where you feel that in your body. Now, this is a thing of the past. There's an aspect of fate here, an aspect of destiny that is calling you. Something about the provocation of this. There's purpose to this, because it's about helping you heal and move beyond it. You know what the deal is now. I'm going to bring that heart here. I'm going to bring this rune here. Lovely. Oops. Moving a whole my lovely piece of card. Right. Sit with this. This is your entitlement, ambition satisfied, rewards, wholeness, the path you must follow. Harvest, it's time to bring in the harvest. This is your right, you know it in your mind, you know what's going on, you know what is right, and it's time. Now that for me feels very, very different. Let's draw the line here. Feels really, really different. Wonderful friends, go for it. Whatever is about to be delivered, open your arms to receive, and just, yeah, go for it. Tons and tons of love. See you in the big 3 monthlies. I will, yeah, see you again soon. Tons and tons of love to you. Namaste. Welcome to reading number 3. We have this beautiful cat's eye quartz heart, which is associated with the heart, energy of the heart, happiness, renewed optimism, faith, increased confidence. So let's see what our runes are showing. We have the rune of joy. This is out of darkness into light, clarity, a new dawn carried across the gap by the wings of heaven. This is heavenly. We have the rune of signs, signals, synchronicities. And we have the rune of gateway. Now, sometimes the rune of gateway asks us to pause and look back. Actually, in this reading, I know we haven't turned over the cards yet, but in this reading, I feel that you are actually literally at a turning point. You're stepping through a gateway into a new horizon, a new dawn. The signs are being shown to you. This is fascinating because, do you know, of all the Sunday readings I possibly have ever done, there is such a natural flow between readings 1, 2 and 3. In reading 2, I made a reference to reading 1, you know, and there is a natural flow. It's almost as though this is they move through and this is the next step forwards. Really fascinating, the readings today, absolutely. I mean, they always sort of blow me away a bit, really, but they are amazing. Okay, so 7 of Cups, there are choices. King of Cups. Okay, so who's this in your world? 9 of Pentacles and the Devil. Okay, we have the card of passion, we have the card of happiness, we have new love, we have transformation. Wow. I don't really know what to say apart from wow. That's where I'm going to sit with this. Beautiful. Okay, so wow, it really does feel like we've gone through reading 1, reading 2 and reading 3, as if we've just moved through them all, and this is like the completion of the cycle. I guess we're all in different cycles and different stages of transformation all of the time in our lives. Right, you have choices ahead of you at the moment. There is definitely someone coming into your world, someone coming in of strength, emotional wherewithal. This is someone who wears their heart on their sleeve. It's also somebody who is going to be very non-gender specific. It's really interesting. It's someone who's offering you choices. They're offering you a way forwards. This is fascinating. We have the card of new love, the card of the lovers, the card of the sun, happiness, Pluto transformation, a new chapter of your world begins, signs, synchronicities. For any of you guys that are looking for a soulmate, if you haven't yet met them, you'll know the minute you see them. That's the power of this reading. You will just know. It will literally be that moment of, you know, when your eyes meet and you just know, or you catch a glimpse of somebody, whether it's, I don't know, you could be online, or you could be in a supermarket, or you could be, you know, wherever you are, you could randomly meet anywhere. But I feel like I just want to say it's about to happen. Or if you have been in a relationship which has been struggling, you know that moment when you just come through and you know you're on solid ground again. You're out the other side, you're plain sailing, you're there. You can be yourself. The devil is a card of liberation. It sometimes indicates some form of addiction. Seeing it here, along with the Rune of Gateway, along with in the positioning that we have it here, this is a card of liberation. This is someone who offers you the liberation, the opportunity for you to be you within a relationship. This is just fascinating, the way the 3 readings have run through. But this in itself is uniquely different in that, for me, this is all about relationship. Existing relationship or new, you'll just know. It's like literally you've turned the corner. That's the thing. It's the signs, the signals, the synchronicities. You just know. The moment you know you're on solid ground, you know you're there. The energy of new love is around you. Sometimes if we've been hurt within relationship, we retreat, afraid of being hurt again. This card brings a clear message and is an indication of your readiness to embrace love and begin a new relationship. It is safe to reach out. Passion, the lovers, the sun, happiness. Yeah. Oh, I really don't know what to say. 9 of Pentacles. I mean, I also want to say actually, okay, so this is a relationship of emotional strength. My goodness me, it's a relationship of physical, sexual, sensual connection as well. There's a real passion, there's a spark. You know when you just feel it with every cell of your body. It's there. It's just there. This wonderful little heart, cat's eye quartz, said to bring happiness, renewed optimism, increased confidence, just heavenly. I'm fascinated by the 7 of Cups because this feels like there are choices that need to be made in some way. However, I also just want to say you're going to know which way to go. This is also, you know, if you meet someone and you just think, do you know, I'm gonna, there might be a lot of choices I have to make to be with this person, but they're worth it. It's got that strength here. Pluto transformation. I mean, this literally is there's something in this relationship that is a rebirth. So I would also say it could also be a karmic relationship. You've known one another before. But it really is, it's that magical, you know, your eyes meet, you brush against somebody, you know that the chemistry is there. There's so much potential for solid ground, for a wealth, for happiness. And by wealth, I don't just mean finances. I'm talking about the wealth that is true wealth, happiness in the realms of the heart. Do you know, I don't think I can say any more, wonderful friends. This is all about absolute love, fulfillment within relationship. There's something about a liberation, though, that comes with it. And that's the fascinating bit. There is a rebirth, a transformation. Whether you've been in relationships before where you were either hurt or you couldn't be yourself, you're liberated. And there's something about this person that liberates you. It's got a strength of relationship here that has a sense of security and solidness, because it's based on a purity of love, higher love. It's magical. Wonderful friends, I'm not saying anything else. I'm going to leave you with this one. If you are not in this zone and you're thinking, this is what I want, but I'm not quite there yet, or I don't feel like I'm there, watch reading 1 and reading 2. You might need to rebalance something. Something might need to come to a completion in your world to get to here. Reading number 2 was fascinating in terms of, yeah, the process and the shifting that we did within it. But because they do seem to flow through in some way. But yep, this is awesome. I'll finish the reading, and I'm just going to actually say congratulations, wonderful friends. Thank you for joining me. Tons and tons of love to you. Namaste. Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for joining me for this video where I'm going to talk about the Art of Manifestation Astro-Moon Diary and Journal for 2022. This is the 3rd year of the diary, and I think it's honestly taken me 3 years to really feel that I've got the formula how I want it, to really give you the right information in the right way, to be able to use the lunar energy in terms of basically enhancing your everyday quality of life. When we really understand how the lunar energy affects us, we really can learn to align with the natural rhythms and cycles of life. It has honestly enhanced my own quality of life so much. So it's really so exciting to be able to share this with you. Now, in this video, I'm going to first of all talk about the Art of Manifestation Astro-Moon Diary. It's a little bit different in its formula this year. So those of you who are already using it, you'll see some key differences as I go through this. This is really all about giving you much more readily available and accessible information about the different phases of the moon. So you can align your diary and your calendar with them, and really develop a deeply personal relationship with the moon herself and with the lunar cycles. The journal is different again. I'll then in a moment look at the journal after the diary. In the journal, I have shared this year a lot of information about the tribal moon cycles and with the Celtic moon cycles. For me, I've been working with these really closely for the last year, and I have to say they've blown me away in terms of how they have enhanced my ability to really understand how to consciously work with this energy. So the journal is very different to the diary. It contains very different information. It has 13 sections, all connected in with the lunar cycles of the 13 tribal moons and the 13 Celtic moon understandings. There's also in the journal sections on detailed new moon and full moon wishes, intentions and ceremonies. So it's a very different book. You can use them together or you can use them completely independently of each other. Lastly, what I'm going to do is then talk about a Kindle edition that we have created, and also a PDF that you can download onto your phone. Now, this has come about because not everybody uses a paper diary, you know, an actual real diary. Lots of people use online diaries these days. But they still want that information. They still want the lunar information. So this year we have created a Kindle version, which is due to be launched on the 1st of October, very excitingly. And also my colleague James is going to upload into our store a PDF version, which you can actually put onto your phone. So I'll speak about that as well. It means you can really access all of the information you need from either, you know, the diary, the journal, plus more, literally at your fingertips. So really exciting. There's exciting changes. There are exciting differences in this year's diary and journal, and as I said, plus these additional ways of accessing the information, so you can literally carry it around with you if you don't want to walk around with a hard copy. So wonderful friends, without further ado, Let's talk about the Art of Manifestation, Astro-Moon Diary 2022. The first part of this diary contains just shed loads of information. It's basically all the information you're going to need to be able to connect and understand how to use the incoming lunar energy to enhance the quality of your daily living, how to build a relationship with the lunar energy and know how it directly affects you. This section of general information starts with a page that runs through the process and natural cycle of manifestation, the art of manifestation. We then also have a page that tells you all about how to use this diary. We go on to look at the different phases of the moon, what they mean and how to use them. And then the influence of the different zodiac signs, and also the void of course moon. Sometimes the moon moves from one zodiac sign straight into the next, but sometimes she sits in a space in between, which is known as the void of course moon. It's very, very helpful to understand the influence of this and how it might affect you. We then have a section on solar and lunar eclipses, along with the dates for 2022. And then the planets in retrograde, again with all the dates for the year of 2022. And lastly, in this general section of information, we have information about the natural turning of the seasons and the earth festivals. We then get to the actual diary part of the diary. Each month begins with a rundown of the overall energy with additional guidance from the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards and the runes. We then move into a whole new section which has not been featured in the diaries before. I go through each of the key moon phases in terms of manifestation and give you a little bit of information for each one as to how the overall energy might be affecting you. We then move into the monthly diary pages. Now you'll see that the same moon phases are also highlighted, so it will be very easy for you to check in on the different moon phases and the astrological information and the lunar information to support you in navigating your week and in navigating your diary. The week to view pages also have an area for you to make notes so that you can jot down the way that the lunar energy is actually affecting you personally. This way you'll actually be able to build a really clear awareness of how the moon phases and the energy of the different zodiac signs actually affects and influences you personally. This pattern follows all the way through the diary, month by month, throughout the year. Let's now talk about the journal. I have to say I am so excited about the journal this year because it's really very, very different to the diary. And as I was saying at the beginning of the video, learning about the tribal moon phases, the 13 tribal moons and the Celtic connections just blew me away. It really, really opened up such a whole level of learning for me that has transformed actually so many areas of my life that I really wanted to share my experiences with you. And so that's exactly what I have done in the journal. The journal begins with a general section of information. We begin by looking at the art of manifestation, the cycle and the phases of this, as well as a section on how to use the journal. We then look at working with the tribal and the Celtic moons, along with the listings of these 13 moon cycles. There's then detailed information about the new and full moon cycles, the moon in the zodiac signs, the void of course moon, the solar and the lunar eclipses, and the planets in retrograde for 2022. We also look at the solstices, equinoxes, and the festivals of the earth. And now we get to the really exciting bit. We go through each of the moon phases, the tribal and Celtic moon phases throughout the year. There are 13 sections with detailed information. There's also detailed information about the new moon, along with room to write down your new moon your new moon wishes and your new moon intentions. There's a difference between the two, and I've written about those in the general information at the beginning of the journal. There's also space for you to have detailed information about the full moon, understand how best to connect with that energy, along with space to journal your reflections. Each of the 13 sections of the journal has ordinary journaling pages, both lined and clear. So lastly, let's just talk about the Kindle version, which is going to be launched on the 1st of October, and the PDF that my colleague James is going to put up into our store. Now, the idea of the PDF is that literally, if you want to download this information and have it on your phone, you can access it at your fingertips at any time, as long as you obviously have your phone with you. The Kindle variety is very much there for the same purpose, to allow people who use electronic devices as a diary to access all of the information available without having to pick up and look at either the diary or the journal. So let's have a look at the information. We'll have a quick glance at the table of contents so that you can see exactly what's included in these two different ways of accessing all of this lunar information. As you can see in the table of contents, there is tons and tons of information here. Different to both the diary and the journal, I have actually written a welcome to 2022 with an overview of the energy flow throughout the year. And this is quite an interesting piece of writing. So if you're really wanting to just tune in with that, please do so anyway. At some point, I will post a video about this and probably read it out and stick it onto YouTube. Now, the Kindle and the PDF have general information, the art of manifestation, the monthly moon phases, the 13 tribal and Celtic moon phases, the moon in the zodiac signs, the void of course moons, solar and lunar eclipses, retrogrades, and the earth festivals. So this is general information. There is then monthly information where we literally go through the daily moon placements, the key moon phases, the overview that actually comes from the diary with the oracle card and rune guidance. We've also got sections that give you the information about the tribal and Celtic moon phases as well. So there is a ton of different ways to access this information. Now, lastly, but not leastly, I am going to be doing a series of live webinars where I will be talking about how to manifest with the moon. Now, we haven't scheduled them yet. I anticipate either one a month or one every 3 weeks, but we're certainly going to do several and at varying times so that hopefully wherever you are in the world, you can access them live and get involved in the Q&A part of the webinar. All of those webinars will also be available, they will be recorded and they will be available for anyone at any time. So if you want to get notification of the webinar dates as soon as I post them, or indeed to watch any of the recordings, do make sure that you subscribe, press the little bell icon, then that should come through into your stream. Now, I have to say, I really don't understand how the algorithms of YouTube work. So if for some reason you're not getting notifications through, it would be really, really worth being on one of my email lists, because I will email out those dates and those links as well. Now, what I will do in this, in any of the videos that I post this onto, I'll put a link in the information box below to join our monthly subscriber offer. I give away a free private reading every month. I give away a pack of the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards. And at the moment, right now until 2022, I'm going to be giving away a journal and a diary every month as well, and they are signed copies. So if you would like to join that monthly prize draw, that's probably quite a good email list to be on, and I will email as soon as we have those webinar dates. So it's worth being on one of our email lists somewhere. I'll put the link to that in the information box below and also in the comments for phone users. Wonderful friends, thank you for joining me. I hope you found this information useful, interesting, and I really look forward to seeing you at the webinars when we are really going to get very real and very hands-on about how to manifest with the moon, how to engage with the lunar cycles in ways that really enhance our lives in every possible way. Wonderful friends, tons and tons of love to you. Namaste.